Good morning, everybody. And before we get to it, can everyone hit the thumbs up? All 30 of you. 100% my fault because I haven't been doing regular updates, which could be just really hell bothering me. Who could just be like, quick things and stuff like that. But here we are, Austin Drummond pulling his BS again, man. Pulling his BS. You've got to be kidding me. And we know what today is. Okay? Today's Wednesday. We wear pink. Okay. OJ, just lay down. Just lay down. That's it. That's it for my kitty. My kitty has just got to lay down. That's it for my kitty. We wear pink. Hey, AJ. Just Me said, howdy, folks. Bama Cat said, you got my DNA on that thumbs up. Yes. Talk dirty to me. Jules says, hey, TCB. Well, first, let's tell Mike hi, and we're going to get to the updates.
Oh, guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody? Julie, hey, guess what day it is? Oh, come on, I know you can hear me. Mike. What day is it, Mike? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Woo-hoo!
It is hump day. And what do we wear on hump day? I've got on hot pink toenail polish. Oh my goodness. Look at that. KK. Pink tank top. Oh my gosh. Jenny has on pink house shoes. Have a feeling Jules probably has on some pink bloomers underneath her nightgown. Yeah, we wear pink. But we don't ask people why they're white. Only my friend Gina gets to ask things like that. Let's go ahead and tell everybody good morning, because I think we already know with the show coming up who can and can't sit with us. Bama Cat said, I hope Hidden True Lies has her peak on today, just saying. Well, if you're subscribed to the second channel, you're going to hear the next show on Next Topic with CLL. We are going to address what is going on with that whole insanity. And it is insane. It is petty. It is childish. It is name calling. You got the courts involved. So if somebody can put the link to the next show, I'd like to have everybody there. I would love it. I would love it. Now, let's talk. Let's talk. Austin Drummond, accused quadruple killer, has been causing problems behind bars. He's back to his same old, my friends. Now, if you remember when he met his boo thing, last time he was in the jail, there she is. Yep, corrections officer. Yep, and she's with him. He wound up killing a big chunk of her family and throwing her great niece out the car and left her sitting in the sun outside of someone's house. There she is again. I will get back to this idiot. But this is what he had going on before. Lots of towels, lots of pants, lots of ramen noodles, lots of oatmeal. It looks like a damn food bank in there. Cell phones, drugs, piercing kits, tattoo needles. Well, he's back at it. He's back at it. Listen to this. Come on. Hell going on?
The man accused of killing 4 members of the same family will be held in a state prison. A judge made the decision today after learning about Austin Drummond's behavior in a county jail. Fox 13's investigative reporter Kayla Solomon tells us how Drummond's own mess is just one reason why he is now on the move.
He was arrested in early August. Austin Drummond has been in the Obion County Jail, but after multiple write-ups for disciplinary issues, a judge ruled Monday he'll now be moved to a Tennessee Department of Corrections facility.
I anticipate starting to lose correctional officers and having to replace correctional officers due to this particular inmate.
The Obion County Sheriff's Office told the court they're holding him on behalf of Lake County for what they call security concerns. Lake County Sheriff Brian Avery says his jail does not have a maximum security area. But Captain Mitchell Maynard, who oversees the Obion County Jail, says Drummond continues to be a safety risk.
I was notified by staff, sergeant on the shift, about Mr. Drummond's had put feces on the cell door window, covered it. And that
You heard it here. He's smearing his own poop around the jail cell. What is he trying to look crazy? They found drugs in his cell. You name it. And they're like, we can't keep him here. Now, what's the old adage? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool the state of Tennessee umpteen times, shame on them. He should have been watched all the time. How's he getting cell phones? How is he getting drugs? Is it that Vice Lord thing? Metrosexual paper sluts in here. He said, I like that dude's suit. I do too. I was admiring it too. And also, this bitch right here that is pregnant with his baby, she's due any day now from my understanding. They have a protective order. We're going to hear more about those this afternoon. To where he cannot talk to any member of that family. Well, she has been begging to get hers removed because, get this, I need to talk to him about how our baby's doing. I need to keep him updated on my pregnancy. I know he's going to be a good daddy. I've got to keep him updated on our baby. I've got to keep him updated on the fruit of his loins. No. 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 He annihilated your family, your sister, your niece, her boyfriend, your nephew, and then dumped out your grandniece onto a stranger's yard. She wants it dropped so she can communicate with him and talk about what? The ultrasound? How big she's getting? How much your back hurts? I know he'd be good daddy. I just know he'd be good dad. Shut up. Shut up. And why that bitch is not an accomplice, I will never know, because she knew or she would be pissed.
sergeant on the shift about Mr. Drummond's had put feces on the cell door window, covered it. And at that time, Mr. Drummond's has, we've had several, I've spoke to Mr. Drummond's about covering the window of the cell many a times with paper. This time it was feces.
Maynard says this poses a serious security risk, keeping the staff from being able to look inside the cell during checks.
Hold on. What's the security risk? What makes it where they can't look in? Is it the poo-poo? I got to hear that again.
That there's Mr. Drummond's has we've had several, or I've spoke to Mr. Drummond's about covering the window of the cell many a times with paper. This time it was feces.
Maynard says this poses a serious security risk, keeping the staff from being able to look inside the cell during checks.
Tell him to clean the shit. Tell him to clean the shit. Who the hell does he think he is? Jackson Pollock? Smearing shit all over the walls and everything? Who got the new membership? Look at Sophia. Question everything received a gift membership. My goodness. Let's get our umbrellas. Keister Bunny, love your comments. You're supposed to use a soap bar, not poop. What a dummy. Yeah, we don't wash with our own shit. Probably had corn in it and everything like that because all they feed you in jail is carbohydrates. Corn's cheap. So yeah, I mean, why didn't he just use his soap on a rope? Aren't they commissioned in some states that everyone gets a soap on a rope so they don't have to bend over in case they drop the soap? Or do they do that purposely so they get some man loving? I don't know.
Was there a message associated with the feces?
Yeah, there was a message yesterday.
And what was the message?
I want to speak to my lawyer.
Okay, so he wrote a message on the county walls, paid for by the state of Tennessee. I'll go ahead and break it down. Paid for by Angel P. Angel P, how do you feel about your tax dollars cleaning up Austin's poo-poo? How you like that? How you like that? Keister Bunny said you get those hotel-sized soap bars. That's what they do in Oklahoma. And they're like, make this less, boy. And it comes down to like a sliver after a while. So his message in poop was that he wanted to talk to his attorney. Now, a couple of months ago, remember I said, because I went to the law firm's website, and I said, I guarantee he's going to wind up having the attorney with the ponytail and polyester suit. Can we go ahead? Today is October 29th and say Brooks was right. I already have it on my calendar. Susan told me I was right on October 14th. I need Kat and Pat to say I was right. Okay? Because then I have what's called the CLL Illuminati. So here's his attorney, the one that he sent poop signals to from his jail cell. Impressive. Impressive.
You spoken to him much since this, and how does he feel about having you appointed counsel?
I've talked to him a couple times. In fact, I just left the jail here, and I have spoken with him a couple times. He's comfortable with me. I've been doing this for 20 years.
And it shows. And it shows. I've been doing this for 20 years. He's comfortable with me. So comfortable that he smeared his own corny turds, no pun intended, around his jail cell to talk to you. Sounds like you guys aren't exactly the peas and carrots Austin's looking for. But either way, now he's in maximum security. And I hope he gets comfortable, because that's where he is going to live forever. 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 They might send him to another state due to security issues. Cato G has a very good question. Does anyone think he's going to be kept under better control in maximum security? Yes, I do. And after the poop situation, my understanding is he's going in what they call the hole. He's going in the hole for a while. Not the hole that the prisoners used in Adam Montgomery's jail cell in New Hampshire that got him sent to Virginia. He's going to be in solitary for a while. And that is a prisoner's worst nightmare. UT Devils. I put up so much crap because he wanted to be moved back to the prison that he was in. That's his home, girlfriend. That's his home. Are you from there, girlfriend? I'm getting a local vibe here. I would love to talk to you. Let's put this link up. I'd love to talk to you, because I would think as a community, you would be mortified, horrified. I mean, hell, they had a damn manhunt for this idiot. And the best he can come up with is score some more drugs in county and use his poop to write messages to his attorney. No. But his best bud here, his attorney with the ponytail, said he's comfortable with me. Okay. Well, he puts your name in shit on his cell. You're not taking care of your client, Ponytail. You're not taking care of your client.
With me, I've been doing this for 20 years. And so, of course, it's early on in the case. So we've got to really kind of investigate all the information that I've received from the DA. Of course, a lot of information is going to continue to come in. So the case is going to evolve. Not exactly sure where it's going to go, but it's going to be a long case.
Also, Drummond asked about his girlfriend and the restraining order. You entered that in.
Right.
So is that to do with him wanting to speak to Caitlin, or?
Yeah, that's his girlfriend, and the restraining order is a blanket order.
Shut up. Shut up. Yeah, he wants to talk to Caitlin, his girlfriend. The restraining order is a blanket order. Yeah, to anyone that's been affected by his crimes. But she wants to talk to him. You know, she just wants to keep him up to date on the prenatal visits. If the baby's kicking. Her own words, not mine. Her own words, not mine. I just know he'll be good daddy. I just know he'll be good daddy. I just got to keep him informed about what the fruit of his loins is doing. Kicking around in me. Kicking around. If something goes wrong, I got to make sure Austin knows. What's he going to do? Poop and write, I love you, Caitlin, on the wall? No, you're right. That tie is busy.
Restricted him from talking to basically anybody who's related to that family, and of course she is. So talking to the judge, he wants to hear a little bit more information about everything, and of course if she wants to speak with him, she's going to need to go talk to the judge and tell him that she wants the restraining order lifted, at least as to her.
Yeah, I understand. And
paper slut said, I'll never understand what women see in these kinds of dudes. Me too. And dudes always have a girlfriend dumb enough to be with them. It's, they say there's someone for everyone. My dating advice is always, you don't find your soulmate at the jail. You just don't. You just don't. You're not going to meet your soulmate at the jail. You're just not. Now, Paper Slut, if you remember, my offer is still on the counter. If you want to give me your passwords, I'll put you into these dating apps. And like I said, right now, it's 9:22 a.m. I'll get you some coffee time with a lovely lady by, I'd say, 3 in the afternoon. Okay? You're just going to have to follow my script. All right?
And do you know if, she's concerned about the pregnancy? Has she wanted to talk to Drummond about that, Austin, about that?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not sure on the details of that, but.
Okay, great. And then also, do you have any more information just in regards to like how he's doing? I know he did ask twice now for a speedy trial.
Right. With the speedy trial, obviously we want to take the trial as fast as possible, but we certainly want to be ready. So we want to thoroughly investigate the case to be able to be prepared to defend the case. He's holding up pretty well under the circumstances. Of course, they're keeping him separate, for obvious reasons, especially because it's a capital case.
Mm-hmm. And tell me again where he's being held.
He's obviously we're in Lake County today, but he's being held in Obion County.
Obion County.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, sir. And can you just spell your first and last?
There's not going to be a speedy trial because they're going for the death penalty. Okay? Now, I don't know how to access the courts in Tennessee. I'm sure someone who's local, like Ange or Lisa A or Tennessee D, can tell me where we're at in this process right now. I'm going to go ahead and just throw a dart at the wall and say it's probably going to be in the fall of 2027, maybe 2026. But they have a lot of shit to collect. A lot. All right, so here's some more to the story. While in custody at and I'm going to butcher this, Obion County Jail, the jail's captain testified that Austin smeared shit on the walls. I don't use words like feces. Hey, Mallory, what's up? Mallory, you look so good in green. Look at you go, girlfriend. He smeared shit on the walls, and they hadn't cordoned the night before, covered the jail's windows with paper, and created a security risk during a strip search. Jailers also discovered 39 Suboxone tablets hidden on him. Now, I'm going to help them with this article. I'm going to help them. They didn't find them on him. They found them in him. Okay? You see, the big dump was needed so he could get the pills out his bunghole. Judge Mark Hayes criticized Drummond's behavior during the hearing, saying the defendant has quite the audacity to create these problems in these situations and then criticize the correctional staff and the sheriff's desire to move him to a facility that's better geared to handle him. Let me tell you what, he is a dangerous dude. Okay? He is a dangerous dude. We don't know the facility of where they're moving him to. That's what it says. Not that I care. I'm not going to write him any love letters. Maybe send that information to Caitlin. But again, what we have here is a lazy-ass judge that did not do what we call around here their due diligence. He shouldn't have been out in the first place. He is a dangerous, dangerous person. The DA begged to keep him in jail. Keep him in jail. And let me tell you what, in this Vice Lord gang, he's going to make friends like Daisy eats Hot Pockets. I mean, he's gonna be rich in friends. Mallory Parker's my friend. Thank you so much for the super sticker, girlfriend. Thank you. Now we're going to go back in time a little bit to when he spoke to Nick Barris. Woo! And it's raining again. I'm going to get to the thank yous in a second because I want to see who got them.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious shit.
What's this? What's this?
And look at that. OG Nanny, she got it. Casper Friendly, Cotton Candy, Mama Bear, and Granny's House. Well, my goodness. And remember, in a few days, we're going to be having Thanksgiving badges. Let's take a second and get our umbrellas. Thank you, Angel P. Which face is Ange talking about? Nick Barris's O-face or Austin's? Because I could just see Caitlin falling head over heels for that, getting grabbed by the U.S. Marshals and pulling his ass out of the woods. Yeah, Austin, look at that. Ooh, ooh. And I feel bad for the people that he was staying in their pool house while they were on vacation. And he was all hunkered down in there. But he spoke to Nick Barris. But he spoke to Nick Barris from behind bars, and he said some, well, really disturbing things. If I was Nick, I'd stay off his radar.
Accused mass murderer charged in the shooting deaths of 4 people is speaking out in his own defense. This is the first time we've heard from Austin Drummond. This after we spoke with him exclusively from his jail cell where he's being held in Obion County, Tennessee. Now, Drummond, of course, we all followed the story, was arrested on August 5th for quadruple murder over in Lake County. He was on the run for nearly a week, making national news and terrorizing communities in the northwest part of the state. Drummond right now locked up without bond, and prosecutors say they will be seeking the death penalty.
Yeah. So when his attorney just wants this done and over with and off his desk, look, I get it, but this is for capital murder times 4. But if you want me to do a math equation for you, they can only kill him once. Even though it's death times 4, they can only kill him once. Who'd have thunk it? Try to explain that to some other YouTube creators. They probably think they're going to kill him, throw him back in the chair, and do it again, and do it again, and do it again. Nope. Doesn't matter how many people you kill, you get one. Mama Bear, good morning. Did you see that Ange got you a membership? Woo! Y'all think about those memberships. You're not going to want to miss Friday morning. It's our Halloween spooktacular.
But he says he did not kill the 4 victims. Drummond confirmed he did become a member of the Vice Lords Gang during a prior prison stint. Once he got out, he said he was approached by prosecutors and then became a confidential informant for months, assisting authorities, including the FBI, undercover to help crack down on drug smuggling into jails and prisons, helping to arrest dealers, crooked cops, and gang member leadership.
You know, these criminal informants, you know, when I can't sleep, I watch a lot of goofy stuff, all right? When it serves their interest, as in they're going to shave some time off or they're not going to prosecute me, they sing like a canary. But if they want to stay in the gang, they will, they'll sway him the wrong way. Let me put it that way. You learn a lot of stuff when you watch it.
Then in recent weeks, in late July, he says he was notified that his cover was blown. And then the 4 people were murdered and he ran.
But they found out I was an informant, and I didn't know. I didn't.
Hold on. Before we get back, and we will get back to that, because we're going to address this. Trust me, we are. Does anyone really think he was an informant? We'll do this prayer garden style. Put a 1 in chat if you think he was an informant, a CI, a criminal informant. Put a 2 if you're like, nah, he's full of caca. No one is going to go to maximum security and openly say, I'm an informant. No, 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 no. No. I have watched the movie Training Day with Denzel Washington and Ethan Hawke enough to know that it doesn't work that way. Okay? Mark my words.
Says he was notified that his cover was blown. And then the 4 people were murdered and he ran.
But they found out I was an informant, and I didn't know. I was afraid because I knew bad things happened, and I was afraid that because I was an informant, things would go wrong. Things would happen to me.
Now, Drummond admits he did wrong by running, but he said he was simply scared. Now, he says he is innocent and had no reason to kill the 4 individuals, all of whom he said he considered to be family. Now, I did ask him, if not him, well, who did kill the 4 victims? I also asked him to explain the role of the baby.
He did. He did. That's the reason he's up for the death penalty. Bonnie's Journey said, yeah, she believes everything Austin says as much as she believes that Fred Hill wore a wire and was an informant for Summers' case. I'll tell you what, we have been dealt a bad bill of goods by these criminals. I can't tell you how many times. Hence the name of the show. You got a crime, you got your crime line, which is, I go back to the time, and they lie. They lie. They lie. And on top of that, their filthy ass lawyers do too. Well, Dawn Grandma 3 doesn't lie. Look at that. She gifted a Crime Lines and Laws membership. Who got it? Shazzy Bear. Congratulations, Shazzy Bear.
That was found left in that car seat alive in Dyer County played. Now, Drummond said at this point he's not really ready to answer any of those questions, but we are scheduled to talk again. We'll see what he says. Definitely he knows more. Whether or not you believe anything he says is a complete other matter. And I should say I did.
Well, he lied to you, Nick, because he said they were going to talk again. And as of now, there's one interview. So looks like he pulled the wool over your eyes as well, Nick. That's okay. Nick is still a great journalist. Journalist, not YouTuber. Journalist.
I did speak with the district attorney who said that he is well aware of our conversation with Drummond. It is now recorded, and he said that is now part of the criminal case file. I'm going to have much more on this coming up at 6:30.
Say, once you talk, it's public record now, so this
everything's
could be
recorded,
right? And I guess that would be my question is, okay, so if he's truly an informant, yeah, and not only that, but like if he's an informant, why not go to authorities right away? I get he said he's scared, but it's like you would think he would seek some protection if what he's saying is.
No, criminal informants are not scared. They are not scared. They keep in contact. They are watched, and they are very, very protected. Okay?
It's true.
Fair question. Okay. We'll see how this plays out.
Yeah, we will. All right.
What a loser. What a loser. And I really don't know who I'm more disgusted with. Him, who met Caitlin in the jail, and she brought the devil to the den and got her family involved in this Vice Lord gang to where they were delivering things to the jail. Why has there not been a guard or a correctional officer in that jail arrested for getting him all that shit? I'm telling you right now, this is not off a commissary card. Why is she not in jail? And she wants this restriction taken off so she can talk to Austin, so she can tell him how she's progressing in the pregnancy. She wants to be able to go see him and show him his baby. How long you gonna hang on, girl? How long you gonna hang on, girl? He's not even 30 years old yet. He's going to be a couple of years older than me. And he's going to get killed by the state of Tennessee. You're really going to introduce your child to that? You're really going to introduce your child to that? You know, Caitlin should just go ahead and call CPS on her own and just save everybody else the trouble. I mean, go ahead. Put it in one of those baby boxes at the fire station. Go ahead. Try that. You're not doing this baby any service. I mean, none. None. All right, old Vinny had some updates. We're going to get to it.
Politan with the latest and breaking true crime stories. Now, let's look at the...
There's True Crime Beats. Best friend, Sarah Boone.
15-year-old Braden Williams. Police have not said who found them or how they died.
The investigation, including efforts to identify and apprehend a suspect or suspects, remains active and ongoing. Local residents are asked to remain vigilant and report any information to local authorities.
That suspect has been identified. It's Austin Drummond. He was driving a white Audi. And now we've got more information. That vehicle has been found. Take a look at this from the city of Jackson, Tennessee. The Jackson Police Department located the vehicle.
All right, this is from the manhunt, and they found the vehicle, Jackson Police Department. By the way, does anybody live around Jackson? I'm trying to remember the exit. There's an exit by a truck stop. I think it's the 87 exit. I'm telling you something right now. That barbecue is to die for. That is the best brisket I've ever had. And that pulled pork will melt in your mouth. But it's not the porkin' that Austin's getting, even in maximum security. Okay?
Driven by Austin Drummond in the woods near the end of MCO Road. It appears that he's been living in the vehicle and may be in the area. JPD asked that all people within the immediate area of this alert to lock your doors, stay indoors as we actively search for Drummond. Remember, he is considered armed and extremely dangerous. This is not an exaggeration. They suspect him of killing 4 people already. If you see him, call 911 immediately. Do not approach the suspect. Here's David Roush. He's the director of the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, TBI. Let's listen.
Now, I recognize this guy. Okay, hold on. Oh, and this guy. DT driver. Anyone that lives in the area, it's the exit 87 across from the Love's truck stop. And it's not hard to find because you can smell the barbecue. And man, it's good. But now, of course, I recognize this man because, well, of the Summer Wells case. He's the one that went and got additional funds, even though people say no one's searching for Summer, because he wanted to get a specific airplane that would penetrate through caves and rocks from Warner Robins, Georgia. And he specifically mentioned Summer Wells. They do know what they're doing. There's just some cases that, well, they're just frustrating.
He is considered armed and dangerous. This is why we're advising the public not to engage with him, to call us if you see him, if you have information about his whereabouts, to reach out through the 1-800-TBI Find line. We have also, in conjunction with the U.S. Marshals, put a $15,000 reward for information leading to his arrest and conviction. So what you're asking is what, when I mentioned a sign of compassion from the suspect, yes. So they brought attention when they dropped the child off, brought attention. There were people nearby, and so brought attention to those people to come and get the child. There was a familiar.
Okay, so obviously we're getting the backstory. You know, Caitlin's sister, her niece, her nephew, and her niece's boyfriend were execution style murdered on the side of out by the jail. I'll just put it that way. Hey, Princess Elsa, what's up? And it's troubling to me that Caitlin still hasn't given up on this love connection she made at the jail. Does anyone else find that odd? That not only is she putting her older daughter in harm's way, she's willing to risk her unborn child for this monster.
Familial relationship between the suspect and the family.
So now we're getting a little more information about this suspect. So number one, wanted to make sure the baby was okay, showed a level of compassion, at least for the child, perhaps not for the 4 dead people left behind, but got the attention of people before he took off in that white Audi. The Audi's been found, he has not. So what exactly is his connection to the victims here, the familial connection? Take a look at this. We found this on Facebook. A family member of the victims posted this. Courtney Rose, my husband and Caitlin are siblings. Adriana and Braden are our niece and nephew. Austin Drummond was Caitlin's boyfriend at one time.
It's not at one time, Vinny. They're still together. To the point, she wants the no contact restriction removed so she can keep him up to date on how the fruit of his loins is growing in her kangaroo pouch.
Yes, he was close to our family. Yes, we cared about him and thought he cared about us. He has literally been nothing short of amazing to us and our kids every time he's been around us up until this point. He's been amazing to our niece, Caitlin's daughter. We never expected him to cause any harm to anyone, much less in our family. Adds another level of why to all of this, if in fact he's the one responsible. Let's bring in our think tank tonight. Joining us, criminal defense attorney Josh Colesrud is with us, trial attorney and author Jeffrey B. Simon, and attorney Dwight Williams. Great to have everyone here. Josh, what are your thoughts here about the connection between the man who's on the run, the man who's wanted, and the victims in this case?
Well, I'm glad that they found a connection because that tells us a little bit more of a possible motive. One thing I'd like to note is that because there are 4 victims here, 4 murdered victims, that does make Mr. Drummond eligible for the death penalty in Tennessee. One thing I'm interested in is also what type of forensic evidence do they have? Because if he has some type of familial relationship, he's going to have his DNA all over the place anyway. So I'm kind of expecting that his DNA was probably found in, some blood or under their fingernails Facts. Yeah. He did everything except for write his name and shit inside of the car where he pew-pewed all 4 of them. And look at that. Not I. Gifting the memberships. What am I going to do with you guys? Can we have a round of applause? Y'all enjoy your memberships because don't forget, Halloween is on Friday. Shows some type of, defensive struggle. So there's still a lot to learn here. We don't even know the manner of death yet. The detectives and the police department are doing a great job at keeping these facts, close to the vest, which they need to do in order before they catch him.
Yeah, and Jeffrey, talking about manner of death here, it's got to be in a way where he can control 4 people. I mean, there's only one of him, 4 victims, 3 of them adults. They're young adults, but adults nonetheless, and another 15-year-old without harming the baby. You put that together and you're wondering how exactly did this all go down? And that's going to be a big part of the investigation.
Right. I mean, to simply murder 4 people takes an enormous amount of superior force, whether it's a gun, whether it's a knife and you catch them by surprise and so forth. And so while we don't know the method, I think we know that it was brutal and it appears that it's personal. And if it's him, of course, he's presumed innocent, but there's going to be a
Diva, where is the baby now? The baby is with Matthew's parents. So she's being raised by her paternal grandparents. Impossible for her maternal grandparents to raise her because, well, her grandma from her mother's side was in the car when the spray of bullets came through, and her grandpa on her mother's side is in jail. But her daddy, his parents are raising her. My Wrench has been a member for 11 months. Keep it coming. And Poppy Red Mustang, what? Oh my goodness, girlfriend. What is going on? Look at all these memberships coming through. My goodness. What am I going to do with all of you? Thank you so much, sweetheart.
Lot of physical evidence, whoever the killer is, that eventually puts that killer at the scene.
Yeah, and you think about it, it's not someone breaking in, right? Someone's breaking in, everyone's going to be at alert. It's going to be more difficult. If it's someone you know, then they may trust them, and it might be in a very, friendly situation until it isn't. Dwight, I want you to take a listen to this because this is something else people are talking about. This is the district attorney talking more about Austin Drummond.
Austin Drummond was convicted in Madison County several years ago for an aggravated robbery. He was sentenced to the Tennessee Department of Corrections, and he was housed at Northwest Correctional, which is in Tiptonville in Lake County. He completed that sentence. So it's what we call flattening the sentence. So he doesn't actually come out on parole or probation. He's just released because he's done all of his time in prison. While he was in prison, he received other charges. We actually took him to grand jury in Lake County because since it occurred at the prison, then it was in our jurisdiction. He had some drug charges that we indicted him for, and then shortly after that, he actually was charged and indicted in Lake County for attempted first-degree murder, which took place inside the prison. Because he completed his sentence, then that was just like any other sentence that a person on the street would have committed. So what happened is once he was released from the Department of Corrections, the Lake County Sheriff's Department picked him up just as they would anyone else, brought him to the Lake County Jail, and he made bond. So he has been out on bond on those charges when we think that this was allegedly committed.
All right, Dwight, explain to the folks at home why someone who's just served 13.
I just put a poll up. I want to hear your opinion. The show is about you, not about me. UT Voles said never should have been out. He is a dangerous, dangerous, dangerous person. Oh, and look at that. Angel P, you were the first person to welcome me way back when. Oh, that melts my heart. That melts my heart. I know you guys are begging for it, so I'll go ahead and give you my opinion. I think when a judge and their only job is to judge, okay, and they let a child go with someone like Adam Montgomery, I think they should be held accountable. When a judge lets out someone like Austin Drummond, who they knew had committed crimes behind bars, and he gets out and he commits a quadruple murder, I think that judge should be held accountable. I do. I think they should. Everyone else is. Well, I mean, why are these judges, why are they sitting on a pink damn cloud? Politics, I get that part. But politicians love to screw each other over. Call them out. Call them out. I'm having a fit right now with a judge in Payne County that let that bastard Jesse Mack Butler out to reoffend. And that's what happens. You give a rabid dog a taste of blood, they don't stop.
15 years in prison and is facing attempted murder charges and drug charges is given bond. What's going on in our world?
It's so frustrating, Vinny. I don't understand it. This would be a situation where you would think someone would remain incarcerated, understanding, once again, innocent and so proven guilty with those charges. But given his history, it's just troubling that this man would be out on the street once again if he's the accused. If he's the one who did it, it's just troubling that someone with this criminal past and history would be out there. Now, with that said, it is amazing that the baby was not harmed, that baby was brought to someone's doorstep. It's just, it's an incredible aspect of this case. Not, once again, what he did was awful in terms of the other four.
This is only my opinion because obviously I don't know Austin. I'm not his pen pal. Okay, I'm not his breaking news. I don't speak to Austin. It's my opinion only. I don't think he cares about human life at all. But he cares about jail life. And he cares about prison life. And he knows there's a big difference between murdering over a drug deal or over a gang-related deal or someone that kills a child. That is a different echelon in the big house. Okay? So he knew not to have that on him. Just like the way they have to segregate the people, I guess you want to call them, that sexually torture children. They know their goose is cooked. And that's another thing I talk about these judges. Another one got out. Forcible sodomy on a 5-year-old. And he's out in upstate New York. Now, come on now. It's not my business. It's not my job to keep them safe in there. Your job is to keep us safe, you pieces of government shit. It's your job to keep us safe. Too bad, so sad that they're getting harassed and bullied behind bars. What's that got to do with me? When it has to do with me is when you let these pieces of shit out.
Murders, but if it was him, but certainly it's, as the TBI said, it's just an amazing bit of compassion in a very brutal situation that he would do that.
Yeah, if the baby's left there, the baby dies because no one finds the bodies. The only reason they found the bodies is because they found the baby. Obviously, this is a troubling case. We're going to continue to follow every development in it, but troubling because this is a guy with a violent past, does 13 years. While doing the 13 years, an attempted murder, yet we give him bond, we let him out, and now when he gets arrested, he'll be facing attempted murder and 4 first-degree homicide charges. All right, Think Tank staying with us. When we come back, another story we've been covering out of Arkansas.
Okay. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Like I said in the beginning of the show, the old adage, fool me once, that's on you. But you keep doing it, that's on me. This is 100% on that county in Tennessee, and I'm not picking on where anyone lives. I'm not picking on where no one lives. But I will bitch about these overpaid and underworked judges. Because it comes down to the judges, okay? I don't care what Daisy says. It does come down to the judges at the end of the day, okay? Police can arrest all day. They can arrest and then they get out. Okay? Plea deals are coming out like damn M&Ms at Linda's house on Halloween. Ridiculous. Now remember, this was an update show, so it's a little shorter. Please subscribe to the second channel. If someone, I'm not in that right now. Well, look at that. Common Sense True Crime got a free Crime Lines and Lies membership. Aurora, Susie's channel, Missy, Lori. I don't see no Walking Dead in there. I don't know. Welcome to the family, my friends. We have a lot going on. Get ready for Friday. Get ready for Friday. But I've had it with these damn judges. I've had it. Politically motivated. They got more golden parachutes with these judges than Goldman Sachs damn CEOs. And thank you so much, my wrench. That's amazing you all did that. Thank you so much. Thank you to the best mods. Thank you to the best friends that you can have on the armpit of hell, which is called on the internet, which is called YouTube. You guys are the absolute best. Please be on the second channel at noon. We got a lot to discuss. You're the best.